Picture scrolling through your feed, maybe after a long day, just looking to catch up on what's happening in the world. Suddenly, you see a post about a new policy making headlines. This one's about requiring companies to cut carbon emissions, a hot topic these days. The post highlights the potential benefits: cleaner air, a more stable climate, and the promise of new green jobs for the future. Naturally, people have different opinions. Some are excited and support the change, while others worry about the economic impact, job losses, or higher costs. The first comment you see is supportive, focusing on the policy's merits and the need for action. But the next reply ignores the actual issue entirely. Of course you'd say that. You're probably just some unemployed student living in your mom's basement. Instantly, the conversation shifts from policy to personal attack. The tone changes, and the original point is lost. Instead of debating the proposal or sharing facts, the reply targets the commenter's character. No counter-argument, no data, just an insult meant to shut them down. This is how online debates derail, spiraling out of control. The original topic, climate policy, gets lost in the noise and negativity. The focus shifts to defending personal credibility, not discussing ideas or solutions. The person attacked now faces a choice: ignore the insult and move on, or defend themselves and risk escalating the argument. Often they respond by listing their credentials or personal experience, which moves the conversation even further from the actual issue at hand. What started as a policy debate devolves into a battle of egos, personal jabs, and emotional reactions. The real topic is forgotten, buried under layers of personal attacks and off-topic arguments. This pattern repeats across countless online discussions, no matter the subject. Instead of exploring complex issues or learning from each other, debates become digital showdowns. The result? Logic is abandoned and meaningful conversation is lost, leaving everyone more frustrated than informed. Why does this happen so often? Let's dig deeper. This tactic is called an ad hominem fallacy, one of the most common ways arguments get derailed, especially in heated discussions. Instead of addressing the actual argument, it means attacking the person making it. It's a logical error. Who someone is, or what you think of them, doesn't determine if their idea is true or false. The strength of an argument should always rest on evidence and reasoning, not on personal characteristics. Ad hominem attacks are a way to dodge the real issue, shifting focus away from the topic at hand. Instead of engaging with evidence or logic, people change the subject to personal flaws, past mistakes, or irrelevant details about the speaker. Online, this shows up as insults, name-calling, or even subtle jabs that undermine someone's credibility. It can also look like dismissals based on political affiliation, or questioning someone's motives instead of their ideas. For example, you only believe that because you're a party supporter, or you must have a hidden agenda, as if personal bias alone makes an argument invalid. Social media makes this easier. Anonymity and lack of face-to-face interaction lower the bar for civility, making it tempting to attack rather than discuss. Quick emotional responses often replace thoughtful debate, and the real issues get lost in the noise. Ultimately, ad hominem is a sign of a weak argument, revealing that someone may not have a solid response to the actual point. If you can't refute the logic, you attack the person instead, hoping to discredit them. But a good idea can come from anyone, regardless of their background or beliefs, and a bad one from anyone too. No one is immune to flawed thinking, so always judge the idea, not the individual. That's how real progress and understanding happen. Look at any major news site or social media platform these days, and you'll find a familiar scene unfolding. Scroll down to the comment section, and you'll see this play out in real time, with hundreds or even thousands of people chiming in. For example, imagine a newspaper posts an article about raising the minimum wage, carefully presenting both sides of the argument to spark discussion. Sarah jumps in and comments, "A higher minimum wage is overdue. It would lift families out of poverty and boost the economy." She's trying to contribute a thoughtful perspective. But instead of debating her point, Mark fires back, "Easy for you to say from your fancy profile picture. Go get a real job." He doesn't address her argument at all. Mark ignores Sarah's reasoning and instead attacks her character, making assumptions based on her photo and online presence. The conversation quickly derails. Now it's about Sarah's status, her appearance, or her background, not the actual economic policy at hand. Soon, others pile on, either defending or attacking Sarah, and the original topic is buried under a mountain of personal jabs and emotional reactions. This is a textbook example of ad hominem, discrediting the person to avoid actually engaging with the issue or their ideas. The result? There's no real debate, just a spiral of personal attacks, insults, and frustration for everyone involved. The opportunity for meaningful discussion disappears, and people leave feeling unheard or even more divided than before. This is why so many online debates go nowhere, and why people often avoid engaging in the first place. Understanding this pattern matters, because if we want better conversations online, we need to recognize how easily they can go off track. When arguments turn personal, the purpose of debate, exploring ideas, is lost. Ad hominem attacks shift focus from understanding issues to winning personal battles. Valuable voices stay silent, not wanting to face insults. The loudest, not the wisest, dominate. Nuance vanishes. People dig in, refusing to acknowledge valid points. Personal attacks also take an emotional toll, making calm discussion nearly impossible. The result is a toxic, unproductive exchange. No one learns, no minds are changed, and the real issue is forgotten. This is why ad hominem is so damaging. But there are ways to break the cycle. You can avoid the ad hominem trap and steer conversations back on track. First, recognize the fallacy. Personal insults signal a weak argument. Don't take the bait. Ignore the insult and refocus on the topic. For example, let's talk about the policy's economic impact. What concerns you most? Ask clarifying questions. If someone attacks your background, say, "Can you point out flaws in my argument instead?" Hold others to logical standards without getting personal. Know when to walk away. Some people just want to provoke. You're not obligated to reply to every comment. Use block or mute features if needed. Protect your peace of mind over winning arguments. Avoiding ad hominem isn't just about reacting, it's about how we argue. Attack ideas, not people. Critique the argument, not the person behind it. Assume good faith. Try to understand before you refute. Rephrase their point. If I understand you're concerned about job losses, is that right? Be open to changing your mind. Acknowledge good points. Debate isn't about winning, it's about learning. Support respectful debates with positive feedback. When you see ad hominem, model better behavior by staying calm and logical. Each choice raises the standard of online discourse. Fostering constructive debate is everyone's responsibility. We all shape the culture of our digital spaces. In today's digital world, personal attacks threaten meaningful conversation. Ad hominem derails debate and creates toxic spaces. Social media is our modern public square. If we can't discuss ideas respectfully, we can't solve problems. But we can change this. Recognize ad hominem, respond with reason, and model respectful disagreement. Attack ideas, not people. Stay humble and open-minded. Respectful discourse isn't just polite, it's essential for democracy and progress. Every time you choose logic over insult, you help build a smarter, kinder digital world. In an age of polarization, respectful debate is a civic responsibility.